Hi, my name is Cold Beer and let's start with Sifu. If you ever wanted to feel like Bruce Lee in his movies, then this game is definitely your spoon of potato salad. The big difference this game offers is that here enemies don't wait for their turn to beat you, so you will have to be quick, nimble and smart to defeat them all. Kung Fu is mastery achieved by practice, a path for the body and the mind. You will learn from your mistakes, unlock unique skills and find the strength to master the devastating techniques of the strongest Kung Fu style ever invented. Well, I have zero knowledge about Kung Fu, to be honest. My ninjutsu martial arts teacher always said that if you can avoid the fight, avoid it. If you can't avoid it, grab an object like a chair and beat your enemies with it. Don't use your hands if you can, they hurt. Well, he also said that if a robber attacks you and you manage to knock him off, take his wallet and then pee on him. Show your dominance. And that is not a joke, my sensei really said that. Yeah, for real, leave honor for the movies. From Glory to Goo. It may not be the prettiest RTS, but it is for sure one of the most entertaining ones. This is a sci-fi survival strategy set on an alien world. You will serve as humanity's pioneer by establishing a colony and supporting your colonies still in orbit. But beware, the Goo, a relentless shape-shifting force, approaches from all sides, even above and below. Basically, you will have to build your colony to repel local horrors who are not very fond of uninvited guests. But if you look at this philosophically, you will realize that the real monster here is you. You came here, you destroyed their beautiful landscape with your pathetic buildings that are making energy out of their plants and animals and filtering your piss so you could have drinking water. They have a right to be angry and they use that right quite excessively. The game is single player only. It includes 23 Steam achievements and multiple factions with units and buildings you can use. You know, ally or destroy depending on your captain and biome. Bad reviews are rare. Most of the people who play the game are saying that it is not perfect but really entertaining. What else you may want? The Thaumaturge. This is an isometric, story-rich, turn-based combat RPG. The year is 1905. The city of Warsaw lives under the rule of imperial hands. Its inhabitants constitute a diverse group of different ancestries, views and beliefs with often conflicting interests: soldiers, merchants, simple townspeople and more. Despite the circumstances, the city is a buzzing metropolis where you can attend a breathtaking party with the high society and later get robbed in one of the dark alleys. Well, sounds like any city today, but there is a catch. You are some kind of a warlock, a thaumaturge as they are called here, because you inherited the power to tame magical entities. You will utilize their mystical abilities to discover secrets hidden within the human soul and speak to the darkness itself. People are saying that the game has a great story, has complex but easy to learn combat and is set in a relatively open world. The only flaw here, in my eyes, is that the game is set in Poland and not in Cold Beer, but no one is perfect. Diplomacy is not an option. You will build walls, raise armies and experience warfare on an epic scale. And that is not just a fancy figure of speech. You will face over 25,000 enemies assault your castle walls. If you hope to survive and defend your city so it would become as glorious as Coldbeeristan itself, you are going to master engineering, economy and even magic. Although there is one problem, you are not a king, just a minor lord without much power. Your king, on the other hand, is a mighty and powerful leader, and also he's a total moron. He drinks warm milk instead of beer, eats only well-done steaks and puts pineapple in his potato salad. Blasphemy! None of these things are true, but he's bad, I promise. Trust me, have I ever lied to you? Well, I did, but not this time. So the king raised taxes one day to, let's say, buy more pineapples, and now peasants who are not fond of raised taxes and emerging hunger are rioting in your part of the kingdom. King demands to wipe out the rebellion and go to the distant land to get some gold. Will you do as he says, or will you command the armies of undead and wipe out, you know, humanity instead? Yeah, this game is wild and fun. A very positive review score is achieved by votes cast by thousands of players. Trepang 2. He will take on the shoes of an escaped soldier who has no memories of his past life but is infused with supernatural abilities. All you want is revenge for something, you know, and you'll stop at nothing. You will deliver devastating punches, sneak around in the shadows, wield powerful weapons, and give the bad guys a taste of their own medicine. or a taste of pineapple in the potato salad, which is way worse and should be banned by Convention of Geneva or something. So anyways, you can already tell the game has strong horror vibes and has visuals and atmosphere similar to legendary Fear games. Here you'll find 6 difficulty levels, so even if it looks hard to crack, on easy it is quite easy. Game has above 90% of positive reviews on Steam and you can play the free demo version as well. The Invincible. The Invincible was written by Polish writer Stanisław Lem, the author of the very well-known Solaris. In general, I think that The Invincible should have been a movie, but I will take a game as well. So the plot of the book, I will try to tell you without spoilers, is revolving around an expedition who has landed on a distant desert planet, much like a Mars, but an itsy-bitsy teeny-weeny more alive one. And then bad things start to happen. Duh. All I can say that this plot is not a usual one where you land on some creepy rock and then some monsters start snatching your crew one by one. It's not like that. If you remember Solaris, you can realize that Stanisław Lem tried to avoid cliches and think of something more intriguing. So I can promise you that The Invincible is not a cliche story. It is really good, less psychological if you compare it to Solaris and more action-oriented. Also, if you played Firewatch, you will see where they took the inspiration from. Frostpunk. If you ever had a dream to make children work in the mines, this game will fulfill this dream of yours in no time. Frostpunk is a city management and building game, but with heavy survival elements and resource management mechanics. You will be in charge of a steampunk society that survived the collapse of civilization. But sometimes it's better to perish with the others than to be governed by a maniac like you. Just remember those children you sent into the mines. Anyway, you know, their hands are tiny but they are fast. Some of them might die. Their parents will organize a coup against you, but, you know, you can't rebel if you're dead. You know, you rebel, you die. Also, in this way, you will have less people to feed. Everything falls in place like mayonnaise on the potato salad. Since the premiere, Frostpunk has been enriched with a number of updates. Now you can enjoy the new Endless mode that increases the game's replayability. There is also a new scenario, the Fall of Winterhome, that further expands the game's universe and lore. And for the dessert, they added things like naming characters and automatons, and finally a photo mode. The game has about 90% of positive review score on Steam and is great for everyone who likes to dive into a post-apocalyptic world and make it better. Or worse. Way worse. Brütal Legend. This is the most metal game that exists in the entire universe, and if you like Jack Black, who is the main hero here, it's a must-play for you. I'm not kidding, it lacks only 1% to be in the overwhelmingly positive review range. So this is an action-adventure that marries combat with open-world freedom. Here you'll meet cover bands, demons intent on enslaving humanity, heavy metal tunes, and Ozzy Osbourne himself. So as I have mentioned before, here you'll play as Jack Black, as he embarks on a tour of epic destruction with an axe, a guitar and his minions. You will command the power of rock and awesomeness that will melt the face off your enemies. Also, the game is really funny and I mean it. Children of Morta. This is an action RPG with a roguelite approach to character development where you don't play a single character, but a whole family of heroes. You will hack and slash through hordes of enemies in procedurally generated dungeons, caves and lands and lead the family with all their flaws and virtues against the forthcoming corruption. The game is not for everyone. For example, I don't like stories about cute cozy families, about love and similar drama. I want good action, and if it lacks action, it has to be really good drama, you know, like movies Lost in Translation, American Beauty, 7 Pounds, Parasite or Arrival. But this game wants to be both hack and slash Hades Diablo and a drama about family. I don't know who the target audience is. Well, you might like it after all, 90% of reviews are positive, so it may be your spoon of potato salad after all. Titan Chaser. It's a meditative experience where you don't have to manage fuel, car maintenance, health or damage. Just find where to drive and how to use your tools effectively. Or just forget about your work and drive through foggy landscapes to calm down after a hard day. Although your job here is to find monsters and make them go away.
I think it is inspired by a Norwegian movie called Troll Hunter.
This is the best Norwegian accent I can do. Sue me. Game has very positive reviews and people on Steam are saying that this game is an absolute gem. Really creative and ambitious project. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Here you'll go after a row god over land and sea, captain your ship on a dangerous voyage of discovery across the vast unexplored archipelago region of the Deadfire. Also, have you noticed how all the names in fantasy games and books have some doomy and gloomy meaning?
Region of Deadfire, lands of crying souls, mountain of doom, sea of sorrow, forest of banshee screams,
and so on. Well, in the real world, all those places would probably have way less terrifying names given to them by locals, such as
Region of Rocks, Land of Dirt, the Volcano, Sea of Water, and Forest of Pedophiles.
yeah, this is an exception. Way more terrifying than Forest of Banshee Screams, to be fair. Don't go there for any reason. Anyway, all the names are way less poetic in the real world. So in Pillars of Eternity 2 you will bend the world to your will, as you explore the depths of infinite possibilities, including detailed character customization and total freedom of exploration. People on Steam comments are saying that the second part has more interesting quests and activities than the first one. Well, it's for you to judge. Iratus, Lord of the Dead. This is a turn-based tactical roguelite RPG set in a dark fantasy universe. You'll have to lead an army of undead to reach the surface world and bring death to the mortal realms. You know, they lack death on the surface, so you are ready to supply the demand. So you will control an obedient army of the living dead. You know, all the classic monsters. Skeletons, zombies, banshees, other unliving warriors, I swear, I know more. And you will create your soldiers the only way a necromancer knows how, from the body parts of your slain enemies. Iratus definitely has a high replayability due to different minion composition in your team. Also, there are multiple different pathways to take when it comes to finishing the game. The main story will take up to 12 hours of your boring life. Empires of the Undergrowth. Here you will become an ant daddy or an ant mama, and you will help them excavate nests underground, construct tunnels and chambers to store food and raise the brood. You will control a variety of warrior ant species and wage battles, and command your workers to build and supply your base. Also, you will have to protect your queen at all costs, at the same time navigating the threats and opportunities of the insect world. Missions are narrated from the perspective of a documentary filmmaker who is studying the ants. He offers intelligent insight into the happening of the colony and the undergrowth beyond. Yeah, sadly it's not Attenborough, but you get the idea. People in the Steam comments are saying that it's very fun to play, although it can be hard and frustrating at times. You know, ants are kinda dumb, just like your cousin, but once you get the hang of it, it is really fun game to play. The review score is above 90%, meaning that this may be the game you were looking for all along. Psychonauts 2. Game has an overwhelmingly positive review score left by thousands of players, so that should keep your attention for a while. Psychonauts 2 is a platform adventure game combining quirky missions and mysterious conspiracies with cinematic style and tons of customizable psychic powers. The game will excite you with danger and laughs in equal measure. Here you'll have to embark on a journey through the minds of friends and foes on a quest to defeat a murderous psychic villain. People on Steam are saying that Psychonauts 2 is like Nickelodeon and Disney made a video game together on acid, and not in a bad sense. Thymesia. This is a dark fantasy action RPG with fast-paced combat and an interesting plague weapon system. In a kingdom where death rules, you will play as a mysterious character known by the codename Corvus. And as always, you are the kingdom's final hope, blah blah, the fate of the land is resting in your hands, and so on. You know, also it's a short game. It is possible to beat it in 6 hours, but hey, let's be fair and square and triangle. It ain't gonna happen unless you are a god of gamepad. Also, if you like tea with Thymes, then you are strong and this game needs you. Clanfolk. This is a city builder set in the Scottish Highlands. As always, you will have to harness your environment to survive. Fish, gather, hunt and farm as you prepare for the winter. Build an inn, trade with other clans, have children and marry them off. You can create your own lineage, you know, a clan of McLong ding-dongs. Why not? Or choose from an existing clan, and then take charge of the multi-generational family seeking to survive in the harsh Scottish Highlands. Every member of your family here has their own traits, aspirations, dreams and skills that will probably never become true, you know, because you are in charge and no offense. Anyway, they will care for themselves and for each other, and they will seek to better themselves over time. The game is well received by players, so don't hesitate if you like colony sims. Homeworld Remastered Collection. €3 for this classic goodness? Count me in. Pack includes both first and second remastered Homeworld games and Homeworld Remastered multiplayer. I don't know if someone actually plays it, but after this sale there should be at least a few people that can humiliate you in 1 versus 1 battle. You know, there are at least 90 people at all times who play this game, so some of them may want to try their luck in PvP as well. Here you can build more than 100 spaceships, enjoy them in 4K resolution and entertain yourself with mod support and mod tools. So you can make your own potato spaceships and join the battle to conquer the space called Beristan, or download some models created by way more talented people than you are. No offense. I played classic Homeworld some 20 years ago and I can still remember the wonderful soundtrack this game provides. Absolutely 11 out of 10. The atmosphere of this game was literally out of this world, or, you know, out of this Homeworld. Sunset Overdrive. Here the Sunset City is under siege. A contaminated energy drink somehow has transformed most of the population into toxic mutants. For many it's the end of the world, but for you it's a dream come true. Your old boss? Dead? Your boring job? Gone? Yeah, sounds like a wet dream of every office worker, although my advice would be to search for a not boring job with a nice boss. I know, it's easier to tame a unicorn than that. Hell, what I'm talking about, it's easier to find a League of Legends match with non-toxic randoms. Anyway, here you will transform the open world around you into your tactical playground by grinding, vaulting and wall running across the city while using devastating, unconventional arsenal. The game presents itself as an open world with no rules. Run along walls, leap off buildings and grind power lines and rails to destroy your foes from every angle. Review score is around 90%, so if you like what you see, you know what to do. Manor Lords. I remember when I saw the Manor Lords gameplay trailer for the first time and I learned the fact that it was developed by one man, I was really skeptical. You know, how can an indie game created by one dude look better than Age of Empires 4? It seemed absolutely impossible and reeked of scam. But I was obviously wrong. Also, I'm sure that he got some help after he coined a publisher, which is Hooded Horse, one of the coolest publishers around. So Manor Lords is a wonderful city builder with elements of war. The visuals of the game are great, especially when you zoom in and see all that beautiful grass, all that beautiful graphic cards melting grass. Yeah, my PC froze a few times while I was playing a demo on ultra graphics. Also, I was recording a video in 4K at the same time, so it may have something to do with that as well. The goal of the game is to build a fully functioning medieval city. You start by building a hunting lodge, wood-cutting structures, peasant huts, all that necessary trifle, and you end up with a huge prosperous city of called Beristan. I especially like that you can build lots and fields in almost any shape you want, and then your builders and algorithm will do the rest. Also, a cool feature is that you can regrow your forest. You have a special forester building where you can assign your workers and they start reforestation. Anyway, this is a wonderful RTS game. I can recommend it without a doubt. System Shock. This is the full remake of the famous original System Shock from 1994, combining the old gameplay with all new HD visuals, updated controls, overhauled interface and all new sounds and music. It even has the original voice actor of Shodan, the psychotic AI who has taken control of the Citadel station and turned the crew into an army of cyborgs and mutants. She now plans to do the same to Earth, so you must explore and battle your way through the depths of a space station gone to hell, stop AI and avert humanity's destruction. The best thing for me, a man who never played the original System Shock of 1994, was a shocking experience, pun intended, when I realized that this is not a linear shooter. You can actually decide where to go first, what areas to explore, and you will also have to make a mental map of the space station in your head, because it is huge and it's easy to get lost. State of Decay Juggernaut Edition. This is an open-world survival game set just after the zombie apocalypse. Your small community of survivors seeks to rebuild a corner of civilization and you get to make all the decisions about how that happens. So, knowing you, humanity is doomed, and it's all your fault. For those who are concerned, this is a single-player game with an option to play co-op. So, this is not some MMO or online shooter battle royale with zombies, no, this is a serious game with base building, RPG mechanics and permanent death. Yeah, that doesn't sound cool, but believe Believe me, it is very good for immersion. You won't be jogging around with your pee-pee out, swinging left and right. You be careful and take the game seriously instead. You will decide who to recruit to your team, where to settle your community, how to fortify and upgrade your base. You will select which survivor to bring along on a scavenging run for the ammo or ingredients for delicious potato salad, and who you use to fight off the zombies attacking your base. People on Steam are saying that this game has probably the closest feeling to The Walking Dead show, and a very positive review score is a proof of that. Northgard. This is an RTS game based on Norse mythology in which you play as a clan of Vikings vying for the control of Mysterio's newfound continent. In this simple strategy game you will find lots of victory conditions, atmospheric music, changing seasons, and, as you can see, pretty nice art design. Also, the game has a decent campaign with a pretty good story. Sadly, as I've mentioned many times before, Northgard's AI is cheating with infinite resources and manpower, meaning that developers couldn't create really good intelligence that could win against humans on its own. Well, I know that many strategy games do not have strong AIs, but they at least try. But you never know, maybe developers were AI geniuses, but they were afraid of accidentally making Skynet. You know, being accused of making a bad AI is one thing, but being responsible for a robot uprising that destroyed human civilization? Yeah, you know, better safe than sorry. Nevertheless, Northgard is a good RTS game for a few days, or maybe more. Maybe you will fall in love with it, you know, like tapeworm falls in love with your guts. Call of Cthulhu. The year is 1924, and here you will take on the role of a private detective. But instead of catching cheating husbands and wives, you must do a bit more serious job. So you are sent to investigate the death of a well-known family on a remote island. What could go wrong? Yeah, you will probably meet some strange creatures, experience weird science, and even come face to face with a creepy cult. I mean, what else is there to do when you spend your time on an isolated island? Knit socks? Repaint the fences? Make potato salad? Although I doubt that you could find the best quality doctor's sausage here.
I am so bored. Yeah, me too. Let's join a cult.
But if you think about it, honestly, if the people of the island would do some sock knitting and repainting the fences for fun, maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't need to join a sinister cult for fun. Some food for thought. Anyways, people are saying that the story of the game is very interesting, engaging, and spooky. But Call of Cthulhu doesn't let you explore much. It is more focused on nice cutscenes, and it does feel more like an adventure game. Against the Storm. This is a roguelite city builder set in a gloomy dark fantasy world. Artistically, this is one of the coolest RTS city builder games I have ever seen. The style is very original and the atmosphere is breathtaking. I didn't like only one thing. Here it never stops raining. I hate rain in real life because I wear glasses and this combo is never a good thing. But in game it feels like a never-ending visual interference. Some people may like it, some don't. So it's not a big deal in general. Anyway, here you are, a pioneer sent into the wilds to establish and manage new settlements inhabited by smart beavers, lizards, and humans. Weird choice of races, but I really approve of that. I'm so tired of elves, dwarves, and various combos of demons and undead. Lizards and beavers are awesome, and you will feel like one of them. You will care about their survival, about their happiness, and will protect them from danger. Well, not always. This is a roguelite after all, so the occasional defeat is programmed in the genre of the game. After a bitter end, the game will instantly offer you better buildings and devices, so your next run would be better, and the cycle continues until another bitter defeat. Your goal is to survive long enough and gather the valuable resources necessary to rebuild and upgrade your city. It's the only safe haven against the Blightstorm, a vile cycle of destruction ravaging everything in its path. On Steam it has above 90% of positive reviews, and I can give it 10 cold beers out of 10, without much doubt. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.